I think everything's about opportunity, and he isn't being given the opportunities. I think Matt's synopsis is probably right. My impression, listening to those that speak more extensively about women's football and the bringing in of this new girl that's going to take over the team when Neville, is that his legacy isn't that great. I don't think that people look back on his tenure as the England women's manager with any great degree of affection. Matt is absolutely right that mainstream media got more focus on women's football because of his involvement with women's football, which I think was received with mixed emotion from those that were involved in women's football. My view on Phil Neville, I think it's an opportunity that's been afforded him by someone that he knows. I'm not entirely sure that his abilities merit it. And I think the reasons why he hasn't been given opportunities because I don't get the impression that he's the greatest of coaches. Now, he gets an opportunity to go to Major League Soccer, Beckham's name, put stardust on things. It's not Beckham's money. Beckham got the franchise as a result of his contract with LA Galaxy, other people's money. But it's still going to be a very significant venture because Major League Soccer is growing in America all the time. And Phil Neville gets an opportunity to stake a claim. So I think that tells you about his ambition. Have boots, will travel. Good luck to him. I don't see Phil Neville as a top coach in this country, and that's the reasons why he probably doesn't get given an opportunity. When you talk about judging people, and you're right, of course, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but you also judge people by how they represent themselves and how they talk. So when I listen to him as a pundit, I find myself, trying to wake my feet up, where his brother, on the other end of the scale, speaks brilliantly. Now, by that token, that should mean that Gary Neville would be a brilliant coach, and he wasn't either. But I don't get, of course, Phil Neville has to have something about him. You don't get an illustrious career playing for Manchester United under Alex Ferguson and then moving to Everton with David Moyes and have a really sustained Premier League career without having something about you. That doesn't necessarily translate into being a leader. He may well be a decent coach, but we're taking this move from a coach into being a manager or a head coach. And that's where I think that my reservations about Phil Neville as a natural leader cause me concern insofar as I'm concerned about him, but concern about whether he has the chutzpah or the chops to be a top manager.
He's not your English Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is he? That you should get. So you're not quite saying get your coach.
I'm conscious of the fact that I'm sort of becoming captain negative, but I can't help but call people out for what I think they are. And I think there's an element of jobs for the boys here. Would he get this job if David Beckham wasn't involved? I look at it and say, into Miami, Beckham. That if it wasn't Beckham, yes, of course, Matt's right. That there is an element of football does that, but that's becoming less and less prevalent. And Rooney is just because they fired a manager and they turned to the nearest guy, and because it's Rooney, he's got stardust.